Welcome back to the Pit Wizard Spook Shack, and welcome to day 6 of our 7-day Halloween banquet extravaganza. Now you've had the devil's farts bread, you've dined on evil eggs, you've chowed down on smoked bat wings, you've feasted upon funeral potatoes, and you've washed it all down with your liposuction's leftover cocktail. So now your palate is suitably filthed and ready for dessert. And dessert today comes in the form of the humble chocolate brownie. But of course, it's the Pit Wizard Spook Shack. We're not just going to be making any old brownie. We're going to be making the fudgiest, tastiest, booziest brownie on this side of the ethereal plane. Now, why a brownie? What's that got to do with Halloween? Where's the horror element there? Well, apparently brownies used to be known by their full name, brownie food. Why were they called brownie food? Because this particular food was baked and left on the hearth as an offering to the house goblins that were believed to tend to the farmstead and the farmhouse in England during the medieval period, while the owners were in bed. Now these house goblins went by many names, house goblin being one of them, flippity gibbet being another, cacodemon being yet another, and brownie being another still. Now these sprites were generally quite benevolent, if somewhat mischievous. They would do menial chores around the house, as I said, while the owners were in bed, cleaning, tidying, that kind of thing. But they hated to be thanked for their efforts, and if they ever were, at best they would leave and never return. At worst, they would become somewhat more mischievous. I think malevolent is probably too strong a word, but mischievous. They would make noise at night, they would sour milk, they'd worry the horses, generally things that you didn't want to happen on your medieval farmstead in England. And the way of appeasing these mysterious sprites was to bake the aforementioned brownie food and leave it for them on the hearth. So that is what we're doing tonight. And as ever, to make this baleful brownie recipe, I am going to consult my tome of cacodemon cacology. And for these brownies, you will need to take 185 grams of unsalted butter, 185 grams of dark chocolate. The best dark chocolate you can get is going to yield the best result for this brownie. And a note on the dark chocolate, it doesn't need to be 90-95% dark. It can be if that's what you like. I think the one I used was about 65. I like it quite sweet, but you do you. And it's Halloween. Perhaps the darker is indeed the better in this case. Cube your butter, break up your chocolate, put them together in a heat-proof receptacle, and then you have the option of melting them over a bain-marie, or you can heat them in your microwave, stirring between each blast for a total of about 2 minutes until they're completely melted and mixed together. If you do opt for the microwave option, please ensure that your receptacle is, of course, microwave safe. With your butter and chocolate warmed, melted and mixed, pop that to one side. Next, you want to take 85 grams of plain flour with 40 grams of cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder, and put both of those quantities into a sieve over a medium-sized bowl. Sieve them together into that bowl. Set that bowl aside. Next, you want to crack 3 large eggs into a large bowl and add 2 275 grams of light brown sugar. Now with a hand whisk or a stand mixer, you want to blend the eggs and the sugar together until they're thick and pale like a stupid ghost. This can take a while, up to 8-9 minutes sometimes, so be patient, wait for that thick, pale fluffiness to appear. Then you can add your cooled butter chocolate mixture to your lovely sweet eggy mix. And this is the point where you can add a pinch of smoked salt, a shot or 25 milliliters of Di Serrano. You can use amaretto, or you can use your favourite booze. You can use whiskey, you can use a nice rum liqueur. I'd imagine mead would be quite nice in there. Whatever takes your fancy, you can use it. And if you don't drink, or if you're making this for kids, just leave the booze out. It's not going to be any the worse for it. Now you want to mix those dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. You want to do that incredibly gently. If you overwork this brownie, it's going to be tough. So you want to fold in a figure of 8 continuously, and I repeat, gently. And when you just about get to the point where you think it needs another 2 or 3 stirs, stop, because then it is ready. To your now homogeneous dark brown brownie mixture, you want to take 50 grams of white chocolate, chop it on a board, add that into the mixture. Take 50 grams of milk chocolate, chop it on a board, add that to the mixture. And again, the best quality chocolates you can get your hands on are going to result in the best brownie in the end. You then want to grease a brownie pan or a tin or whatever you've got to hand with butter, and then layer that with some parchment paper. Then pour your brownie mixture on top, making sure it all goes into the corners and is nice and evenly poured. Then want to preheat your oven to 320 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 160 degrees Celsius. That's if you're using a fan oven, as we were with our Ninja wood fire. But if you're using a conventional oven, that's 350 Fahrenheit and 180 Celsius. And you want to bake your brownie for about 25 minutes. Put it out at the 25-minute mark, give it a shake. If it's got a wobble in the middle, it's not quite done. Pop it in, give it another 5 minutes, put it out again, give it the shake test, etc., until you're happy it's done. Full disclosure, this brownie took us about 30 minutes. And then you should have something that looks a little bit like this.
And alas, I have been forbidden from doing a taste test on this beautiful boozy brownie, because we have to save some for the assorted goblins, ghouls, cacodemons and brownies that will be descending upon our abode later this evening. But I don't think you need me to taste this for you to know how absolutely delicious it's going to be. Just look at that. And if you do make it, let us know in the comments how it turned out for you, and follow us on social media so you can send us pictures and just share your thoughts on how recipes have gone. We're all over TikTok, we're on Instagram, Facebook, we're on X, and if you're interested in our recipes, you can now subscribe to our Substack completely for free for a short period of time. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, And tomorrow is night 7 of our 7 days of Halloween extravaganza. It's Halloween night. You don't want to miss that one. So make sure you subscribe, share the video, give it a like, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on tomorrow or any future videos we do. A very happy Halloween to you all.